the only path to success and a meaningful life. The Noble Eightfold Path. The 8 wings of the Tao is not the same as what you have ever thought or heard on the internet. The Eightfold Path does not advise you to give up your ambitions, to leave the world, or living an ascetic life. On the contrary, it is the system that helps you master herself in the midst of the challenges of ordinary couples. The Buddha did not teach people to avoid life. That teaches how to face it, transform it as with wisdom and right action. Remember, there's no need to give up anything. You just need to understand and get it right. Bachan H Tao is not dry theory. It's a practical set of tools that you can apply to work, family and myself. When understood and practiced correctly, the Eightfold Path helps you to gather enough mind, to live kindly, to be wise, to see far and wide, and to be talented, to realize what you want. Simple examples like, instead of letting conflicts arise in the family or in long-term relationships, you use the right language to deal with it skillfully and elegantly, constructively relationships with more understanding. Instead of making money by chasing short-term benefits, you apply network avoidance to hedge sustainable without harming others. Principles. This does not require you to let go of anything, but helps you shape the right way of life with reality so as not to lose yourself. In fact, the vast majority of the failures and suffering we experience all stem from not being able to control themselves. I don't understand what I really want, and I don't know how to control external influences. When you lack heart, you easily get caught up in negative emotions. When there is a shortage, you lose your way. And when there is a lack of talent, it is impossible to turn ideals into actions. Bachan H Tao helps you regain control, not by changing external circumstances, but by change the way you see and act. It doesn't force you to give up anything, it just teaches you to live smarter, more balanced. In this video, Tritam will work with you clearly about the true meaning of the Eightfold Path. The system is not for you to give up life, but to master it. We learn to apply these 8 principles to practical aspects such as work, family and self-development, to not only overcome the adversity but also live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. If you have ever heard of the Eightfold Path but don't understand its value, or are looking for find a way to master yourself, let's work with philosophy. Enter this journey now. Dear friends, the Eightfold Path is often misunderstood as a path only for cultivators, requiring complete renunciation of life to live worldly life to achieve inner peace. However, this is not correct. This system is not contradictory with modern life, but the opposite. It is a tool for you to live a balanced, meaningful life and overcome their own limits. A misconception. The other is Buddhism against aspiration. The Buddha is a symbol of the great aspiration, the aspiration to enlightenment to help all mankind escape from suffering. The Eightfold Path is not ask you to give up your dreams or ambitions, but to pursue the right aspirations, not distorted by greed or selfishness. In modern life, aspirations are the motivation for you to learn, grow, and give as long as they don't causing harm to oneself or others. The Eightfold Path is not it must be a call to give up life, but a way for you to master it. When you understand that letting go is the elimination of negativity, aspiration needs to be properly oriented and the profession must be associated with ethics, you'll see that the bull of avoiding islands is not only a philosophy, but a guideline, helping you live a balanced and peaceful life and more meaningful in the modern world. Modern life has no shortage of contradictions, suffering and pressure. We often blame the situation, complain about things that are out of control, or trying to avoid reality with momentary pleasures. But the problem is not in the world around us, but in the how you see and act on it. What's going on in your mind is the roots of how you experience life. Chan Kian teaches that the truth that is not a fixed picture, but how you perform it in your mind. A similar situation, but everyone feels differently. The viewer exchanged for a mausoleum glasses of fear will only see danger. Person drowning in prejudice will ignore the truth. And the person who is dominated by negative emotions will see things through a gloomy gray. Right perspective not only helps you realize that the way you look differently is the determining factor, but also the direction lead you to remove the distorted prisms to see the true nature. Correct perception is the first step to change reality. It's like present the compass again so that you are on the right track. When you understand that every action, every decision you make has long-term consequences, you will less blaming others or circumstances. Instead of reacting emotionally, You learn to analyze the problem from the root, acting on the truth instead of what you want to believe. A person who fails in careers are not because of a lack of talent, but often because they refuse to recognize weaknesses that need improvement. They may blame others, colleagues, or the market, but avoiding ants will remind them to start with yourself. Instead of wasting time whining, Chan teaches you to practice focus on what you can control, like upskilling, adjusting your skills degree or change the working method. This is the way to transmit reality. Practicing right insight not a single time, but a continuous journey to virginity is how you see the world. A correct perception has the power to change not only your actions, but your life. Right thinking is not just positive thinking, but the ability to think deeply, awake and right to lead your actions for the better. It does not encourage you to take on difficulties or dreaming of an ideal reality, which requires you to face all problems with wisdom. Difficulties and paradoxes are not it should be an insurmountable phobia, but an opportunity for you to better understand yourself and transform them into strength. An important part of avoiding thinking is the ability to think critically, ask questions, analyze, and challenge assumptions that you usually trust. Thinking right? Simply accept what happens, but know how to check your thoughts. Are affected by prejudice, negative emotions or one-sided views or not. For example, when you feel like you are caught up in the whirlpool of work and find no meaning, avoid thinking that makes you wonder, what am I doing this for? Is it really? Are they associated with their core values? Instead of continuing to run according to habits or external pressures, the right mindset helps you stop, adjust and choose your path more in line with life orientation. Transformation being not only a means of livelihood but also a means of making a living where you truly grow and contribute. Right thinking also teaches you to look at any situation with a balance between reason and emotion. It helps you get rid of the spiral of extreme thoughts such as being too pessimistic about the defeat or too blind to success. Instead of focusing into what you can't control, you learn to transfer energy to improve themselves and do their best in the current situation. More importantly, right thinking is a guiding tool. It's not just helps you face the difficulties in front of you but also keeps you on the right track in the long-term journey. A quarter Dewey Trong not only solves the problem but also helps you build a solid foundation to go further. Right thinking not a fixed state, but a process of continuous self-inquiry and adjustment so that all your actions and decisions are consistent with the values and goals that you pursue. When you have the right mindset, no obstacle is useless. Every experience has become the raw material for you to grow and become into the best version of yourself. The right language is not merely advice on telling the truth or avoiding lies. Is the art of history. Use words to create positive value for both you and those around you. Words, however small, always carrying great power. A word at the right time, properly can heal relationships, lift spirits, and build trust. Conversely, thoughtless speech can cause deep damage, destroying relationships and loss of respect. The right language teaches you to check control words not because of coercion, but because of the realization that every word you say leaves an impact. Before I say anything, ask yourself, is this necessary? Does it help listeners? This consideration is not only makes your words more meaningful, but also helps you avoid unnecessary conflicts. In life, righteousness it also requires you to be skillful. Sometimes, the truth should not be said in a harsh way, but should be communicated with empathy and sincerity. For example, when you want to give someone feedback, instead of criticizing, choose how to speak. Help them feel your meditation. Speech not only does it make others change, but it also helps you become a person who is respected and loved. The right language is also a reminder of stay away from destructive words such as lies, covers win or spread negative things. Habits not only hurts others but also creates hence the instability in your own mind. When words become pure and sincere, you will receive relief and inner peace. Main practice language is not only a better way to live, but also a way for you to build a positive environment around me. With the right and gentle words, you can connect with people more deeply, build strong relationships and inspire to grow together. The right language not only teaches you to speak, but it also teaches you to think before you speak, which helps you become a better listener, a great skill and important period that everyone must train. Right karma is a reminder that the actions you take leave a mark not only in your life but also in society. This is not only about avoiding doing wrong, but also about choosing to do the right thing. Actions that bring value for themselves and the community. Righteousness helps you understand that every decision, every action, even the smallest, is a brick build the path of your life. Take the right action not only based on moral standards, but also must come from consciousness. Right karma requires you to ask yourself, is what you are doing really right? Is it harming anyone, including myself? Acting improperly, although it brings immediate benefits, in the long run, it will harming Ban and the people around him. A life built on deception, harm or selfishness will not ever bring true peace. In fact, right karma is not only about stay away from negative actions such as theft, fraud or hurtfulness, but also encourage act with kindness and meaning. Example: instead of focusing solely on your own interests, you can choose to help others, even if it's just a small thing like helping others or sharing knowledge with those in need. Small actions such as so, when done with sincerity, it will create energy positively spread and have a long-term impact. Doing the right thing also requires courage, feelings to reject harmful temptations. At work, you may be faced with choices such as chasing profits regardless of or maintain the value of each virtue. Right karma is the guideline. Help you consistently choose the right path. A small but right action today can bring about results great and sustainable fruits in the future. Practicing right karma is how you plant good seeds for my life. Doing the right thing doesn't just help you get respect and love from others, but also bring you inner peace. Righteous karma, not a distant ideal, but a reminder. Remember that every action has meaning and that every right action will contribute to the creation of a full and worthwhile life. Business not only the means to make money, but also the way you affirming their value in nature. Righteous destiny reminds you that the way you earn life not only affects the budget, but also the intention, your personality and the meaning of your life. A genuine job not only helps you feed yourself, but also brings peace of mind, because you know yourself are contributing something of value, rather than harming others. Think about your working hours. You are build a career with pride, or accept compromising with unconscionable things just to gain material benefits. Mindfulness doesn't require you to be a hero who often gives up personal ambitions, which teaches you to ask questions. Is this job suitable for their ethics and life values? What I'm doing hurting anyone? This is the first step for you to build a life of balance between material and spiritual. Righteous destiny, it must be about choosing the perfect job, but choosing a path that you can look back on with pride. When you work with integrity, no deception, no harm, you don't just build a sustainable career, but also creates a positive environment for themselves and those around them. On the contrary, if you choose the path of nefariation, even if it brings immediate benefits, the long-term consequences will always be back in both spirit and life. Practicing mindfulness is how you ensure that work not only brings income, but it also brings meaning and joy to you. Once you make a living with authenticity, you will realize that the results achieved are not only money, but also peace of mind and respect from those around them. Choosing the right way to live is not easy, but it is the only path for you to build a solid and proud life. Chantintan, it is not a relentless hustle or blind rush to work. It is a reminder that the effort really makes sense when you're on the right track, helping you get closer to the goal without sacrificing health, soul or core values. Chantintan teaches you that it is not to do a lot to be good, but to do the right thing necessary with perseverance and awareness. The right effort begins from having a clear awareness of the goal. When you practice focus on what really counts, every moment all you spend brings worthwhile results. Conversely, blind efforts, without direction, only make you lose your way and lose meaning. This means that you should not try to plunge headlong into work without bringing health. Practicing true mindfulness is still a matter. Don't let the scene make you prepare. Life will always be full of expectations, but it's the way you treat wearing them is the important thing. Instead of giving up when you get stuck, you learn to see it as an opportunity to grow and improve themselves. Zhengxingjin does not ask you become perfect instantly, which teaches you money little step by step, durable and sturdy, so that all efforts have brought about lasting progress. However, The right effort. Regret does not mean working hard and forgetting the balance in life. Chantintan reminds you that perseverance can only be maintained when your mind and body are nourished. So instead of trying to push yourself to the limit, you learn to take breaks at the right time, take care of yourself, so that every step forward is realized present with clarity and internal strength. Chantintan is a source of energy amounts that help you overcome laziness, procrastination, and limits that you set for yourself. It doesn't change the game living into an exhausting race, which helps you move forward with focus, balance and peace. Once the right effort becomes a habit, you'll realize that success is not a destination, but progress set every day on your chosen path. Chantintan not only change the outcome, but also change who you are. Mindfulness must be an escape from reality, but art live fully in every moment. In a world full of stars, where the mind is always drawn to worries of the future or obsessed with the past, mindfulness is the word reminds you to go back to the present, the only place you can really control and act. Mindfulness discusses consciousness about the present is not only about focusing, but also about how you deeply feel that everything is happening around us without judgment. It is the ability to observe emotions, think and act with awareness, rather than being carried away unconsciously. When practicing mindfulness, you are no longer dominated by the disturbances of the mind, but instead, you do master their emotions and actions. An important part of mindfulness is the ability to slow down to realize the value in simple things. It can be the moment you enjoy a cup of coffee without scrolling through the phone, or when you're listening to the friend confides without distractions. Mindfulness requires you to change the outside world, but brings a big change in the way you experience that world, from living with curiosity to living with depth. In difficult situations, mindfulness helps you stay calmness not to react to emotional outbursts. When you're stressed or angry, instead of letting your emotions dominate your actions, mindfulness reminds you to stop, breathe, and awareness of what's really going on. As a result, not only do you solve problems more effectively, but you also keep your mind balanced. Mindfulness it's just a skill to deal with pressure, but a way for you to connect more deeply with yourself and the world around you. When you live with mindfulness, you not only realize the value of each moment, but also create a fulfilling life where you are truly present and in control of every action. My thoughts. Right concentration is not a state of the bliss you attain after a few hours of concentration, or moments of liberation from reality. It is turmeric art to maintain concentration and tranquility in the midst of the chaotic drama of life. Chandan teaches you that a calm mind is not only a place for you to find peace, but also a foundation for you to offer the most informed and accurate decision. An unsteady mind is easily swept away into negative emotions such as anger, anxiety, or greed. When the mind is disordered, you are prone to making hasty, inconsiderate decisions and as a result, unnecessary mistakes. Right concentration is the state that helps you get rid of from the domination of these bronze stars. Help you stand firm like a mountain in the middle of a storm, not letting the outside world shake the inside. Practicing right mindfulness means you have to give up your job or life days to find absolute tranquility. Instead, the government encourage you to focus on the present moment with awareness and clarity. Whether you're working, communicate or face challenges, Chandan helps you keep your mind free from distractions so that every action comes from transparency and initiative. Right concentration is also the key for you to handle pressure and stress effectively. In times when you feel overwhelmed by the amount of work or worries, Chandan teaches you how to breathe deeply, focus on what really matters and then reduce unnecessary stress. A settled mind is the foundation for you to maintain a balance both in work and personal life. Last, righteous concentration not only helps you calm down but also opens up the possibility of the ability to have a deeper awareness of life. When the mind is at peace, you will clearly see the nature of all problems, thereby making the right decisions, not dominated by momentary emotions. Right concentration is not a destination, but an action for you to build your inner strength, from which master every aspect of your life. Once you practice righteousness, you not only find peace but also develop the ability to discern, to face and overcome all challenges. The Eightfold Path is not just a set of moral principles or eclecticism, but a male rule that helps you master yourself in the middle of the relentless halo of life. 8 elements, from right view, right thinking, right thinking, right karma, right death, right perseverance, mindfulness, to right concentration. Not only does it guide you to live rightly, but it also builds a foundation for you to fully concentrate your mind and scope and talent. Mind helps you live kindly, aim for good things and get rid of negative emotions such as anger, greedy. Level, expand awareness, help you look beyond the immediate benefits, understand the value sustainability of the right decisions. And talent is the ability to act, perseverance and the spirit of innovation to make all goals a reality. This factor is the core of helping. Not only do you live a worthwhile life, but you also live a worthwhile life, spreading value to everyone around them. Practice catching and avoiding digging. Ask you to give up your current life for change everything immediately. Clause what you need to do is start with small steps. Improve the way thinking through avoiding ants and avoiding thinking, using words to build in the right language, choosing genuine actions and professions through right karma and right career. Maintain efforts in the right direction with Chantintan. Keeping the mind clear through mindfulness and right concentration. Changes. This small change, when carried out evenly, will instantly turn into a great power, leading to you come to true peace and success. Life is a journey of transformation and the Eightfold Path is the bridge that leads you to inner freedom. Peace and happiness is not in a distant place, they are always within your reach, as long as you are willing to embrace it. If you feel that the sharing from Tritdam brings value and meaning, please give Tritdam a like, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so as not to miss the next content. Don't forget share the video to your loved ones and leave a comment below. Wishing you always be wise and full of positive energy on the journey to master life.